So that.
All right, we're live, sir.
How we're late? No. A wizard arrives exactly when he means to. You know that quote? Very good. How are we all doing, guys and girls?
Welcome to the stream, everyone. Got a lot going on this week. A lot to talk about.
We do, and a lot of hype going on with Bomb and B Show at the moment. We're loving it.
Yeah, pull that up.
Amazing stuff. Do it. Ooh, what a landing page. Whoever designed that is a wizard.
A real wizard, huh?
Yeah. I keep saying wizard until somebody asked about do a flip. No. Until somebody.
You probably could.
Can you do a flip? I've never actually ever learned to do a flip.
I'll make you full screen if you want to try.
You could have no partner after that, if I'm honest.
All right, let's not try that.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it down the line when we're flying. All right.
All right.
We'll risk it then.
All right, so I guess we can go over a couple things that were in the bombshell and a couple other things that we could have talked about in the bombshell, but we were already had quite a lengthy post going. So
yeah, I think probably the first one, the big one, Axie, right? Let's jump into that. Yeah, you already know.
Yeah, huge. So
yeah, just look at our position.
I guess I'll start from the beginning here, just because Balancer V2 forks, probably if a lot of our communities from BSC, they're probably not too familiar with this because as far as I know, this is the only Balancer V2 fork that's on BSC. The big one, if for people that use other chains, Balancer's on Ethereum mainnet, and they've got a big fork going on Phantom Beethoven X. So I think they got 300 million locked over there. So definitely popular protocol. I'm surprised it hasn't taken off further on BSC, but we'll probably start changing that with our pairs being on here.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's time for somebody else to fork it, Aaron, hint.
You know what? These guys, they're just they're treating us real well. They got our tokens fully listed right away, and they've already offered us some really nice incentives towards partnerships that we can talk about a bit later in the stream. Let's go over the basics first, though. Most automated market makers are based on Uniswap V2. It's a good automated market maker, but it's quite limiting in compared to what you can do with Balancer. For example, anybody can make a pool on a Balancer fork, and you can pick whatever tokens you want. You can include more than 2 tokens. You can have, I think they have up to 8. Yeah, so they limit it to 8. And on top of that, not only can you have multiple tokens in a pool beyond 2, you can then set the weight of the tokens. And this is the main reason that we got involved with Balancer when we did, is because we wanted to. I'll bring up the bombshell just to kind of show there is really 2 problems we were looking to solve. In addition to all the other advantages of using Balancer, but we were ending the bomb single stake pool. We needed to give our users somewhere to put their bomb to work. We were trying to prevent having 50% of those bomb being sold to BTCB to enter our traditional farms, as well as with the bomb price where it was at, and even where it's still at right now. A lot of our users didn't want to sell half their bomb at those prices. So being able to create this bomb BTCB, bomb maxi, 80% bomb, 20% BTCB pool, that largely solved that issue. If it was a great solution in that you only had to sell 20% of your bomb, not 50%, in order to get into this. And of course, we had the governance vote that passed, I think 99+% to 1 to incentivize these. So I do apologize. The stats still are not working on these. I was really busy yesterday, so I didn't have a chance to get that complete, but I will promise I will do that today. I'll have all the APRs and TVL showing for these two.
Awesome. Yeah, from some maths I did earlier on the B share maxi pool, that was, I think it was paying out something like 0.6 to 0.7. I think it was around there, roughly.
Oh yeah, like a good way to figure it out, actually, for anyone that's interested. Just in the meantime, you could always take a look at our traditional farms, so the BOM BTC BLP and the B share BNB LP, and these are paying exactly half the rewards of their counterpart up here. So, so when the TVL here is 482,000. If we look over at Balancer and we look at the B share, so this one's got 173,000. So that's less than half. So basically, until this gets up to 241,000, this will be paying better, just because it's getting half the rewards, but there's less than half the money in it. So this right now is actually paying better than this. So it's probably somewhere in like like you said, 0.5, 0.6 range per day.
It's about that.
Yeah, actually, I'll just quickly address this. I've been meaning to remove that, but I want to have a really solid article to put there to replace it. And with how fast things are progressing right now, it's kind of it's been kind of changing as to what exactly I want that article to say. So it's something that let's get rid of that today. Let's replace that with a new article today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we do have to get rid of that. So what the question's referring to is this guy here, this big blue box right here. So yeah, we'll take care of that today. Get that switched up to something more relevant to what's going on right now. Thanks for bringing that up.
It's on your list to do, Aaron, already.
Let me just write that down again, just to make sure. Remove blue box.
I put it on your Notion page.
Oh, okay. Well, now I got it in two spots now. All right.
Can't miss it now. Another thing about the Axie weighted pools that I think somebody in the community brought up, and then we realized how good it was when it will be in the auto vaults, that it'll be buying a lot more of our asset, right?
Yeah. So let's just go back to the basics first before we get into that. So basically, what we've done is we've created these two, what we're calling the BOM Maxi and the B share Maxi pools, which then we have corresponding farms on our website for farming these. So, and again, so what these are is, instead of being a 50-50 mix between B share and BNB, or BOM and BTC, they're 80% our asset and 20% of the other token. So what that's doing is, while our asset prices are low right now, that lets you farm and suffer much less in permanent loss as our tokens appreciate in value. So it's kind of a best of all worlds there. Because for someone to go back into the BOM BTCB 50-50 right now, they're going to lose a lot of their BOM as the price of BOM increases. It's not horrible. The value of the LP will go up and everything, but this will generally be a better option with what the price movement that we've been seeing and that we anticipate will continue. So
for sure. So there's a handy IL calculator as well, made for Balancer V2 forks, which is really handy, and it shows you, you put in like 500% gain on B share and 0% say on BNB, and the impairment loss isn't even that bad because it's so heavily. Plus, you'll be earning all the time every day, so it's a really good space to put a lot of your B shares.
Oh, actually, before I forget, I do want to correct something. I'll correct the bombshell that I wrote, but I did say something that was not accurate in the bombshell. I mentioned that because I was kind of trying to indicate like where it's best to place trades on our assets, and I mentioned that 1 inch will route through the preferable pool, but it actually turns out that 1 inch is better than I thought. And sorry for everybody in the United States, because I believe it's not available there. But, if you're like, for example, trading, like, let's just do some sample trade here. Where's
it's all good for me over here in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, just take a look at this, for example. Like if you're buying one BTCB worth of bomb, routing through 1 inch, you get 21,297. Routing through Pancake Swap, which is our biggest pool at the moment, you get 200 and some odd less. And the reason for that is that it's intelligently routing that 18% through our balancer fork that we're on and 82% through Pancake Swap. So it's dynamically figuring out what percentage of the trade it should put through each of the pools to give you the optimal rate and get you the best, the most amount of tokens in return for your trade. So anyone that's not in the United States, I'd highly recommend using 1 inch for every buy, every sell of B share, bomb, all of our assets really. The same thing applies to B shares, of course. If I was,
I've been using it over the last 2 days to do some of my buys, and obviously not as big as that, but yeah, definitely seen savings.
I mean, the bigger your trade, the bigger difference it's going to make, right? So I mean, you get 6 extra B shares by doing this on a 50 BNB buy.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at the trade route, it's 80-20. You reverse it. It's 1882. So it's dynamically figuring out what's the very best for you to get you the best rate. And if you don't do it this way, then it's not horrible, because I mean, Pancake Swap does have the majority of our liquidity, but I mean, essentially, if you're doing a big trade and you're not doing it through something like this, then the arbitrage bots are going to come in and balance the prices afterwards, and they're going to make a few bucks. It's not the end of the world, but you benefit more instead of the bots, basically, if you do something like this.
Yeah,
especially the bigger the trade, the more difference it makes.
Nice to know. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome stuff. What did I mention a minute ago? It was, in the auto vaults, because you were going through the basics with it.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me just go through a sample adding liquidity. I'll pull something out of, I think I've got a little bit in the bomb farm right now.
Rip Pancakes.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this position. It's just a really small position in our traditional bomb BTCB. I'm just gonna demo how this works. So I'm just gonna pull this out as bomb and BTCB. So I know there's been some confusion just because Balancer is so flexible. It's not quite as straightforward, I guess, when it goes to adding liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just go over that. All right, so now I'm got some assets that I can use to invest. All right, so let's take a look at this screen here. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so I think I had 0 of both of these prior to pulling that out. So just to show you an example, one easy way to do this, press optimize. When you press optimize, it's going to use the max of whichever asset it can max, and then it's going to use as much of the other asset as is needed for the 80-20 ratio. So what I could do is I could just put this in here like this, and then I'd have a bunch of BTCB left that I could then use to swap for bomb to have an even bigger position in this LP. If you don't do it this way, let's say if you hit max just means, put as much of every asset that I have in. But as you can see, $2,800 of bomb, $2,780 of BTCB, that's going to have a price impact because that's not the right ratio for this. I mean, which is okay. Basically what this is going to cause, it's going to cause a bomb buy, right? So it's going to put this into the pool, but then the bots are going to come in and equalize things against our other pool because the ratio is off a little bit. So it would cause a buy on bomb for me to put this through. I mean, of course, you could always just add all of one asset, right? Like, so I could add, if I add this BTCB, it's saying, well, it's suggesting that I also add 5,658 bomb with it, but I don't have that much in my wallet right now. So it's just saying that there's going to be some price impact for me to add just strictly one asset. So, I mean, you can do that. There's no problem with that, but generally you'll be slightly better off going to like 1 inch or something and, trading your assets until you have the right ratio. And that way again, it depends on the size of the trade. If it's not huge money, it's, probably not gonna make much of a difference either way, but for bigger trades, I definitely recommend going through 1 inch and getting the right ratios and then entering that way. So actually, I'll actually create the position. So I'll max this. I'll do what it suggests for this. So what I just did, by the way, if anybody didn't catch that, what I just did was pretty much the same thing as pressing optimize. So I just maxed my bomb, and then I just did what it suggested for BTCB, and it's already saying optimized. So I could have just accomplished that by clicking optimal. So I've already approved these tokens, so I don't have to approve them. Throw that in.
It's very, very handy to have this, isn't it? And also, you know, the gains you can make from it and the extra money that you don't lose. It's awesome.
So let's head on over to the farm, throw that in. And let's buy some bomb while we're at it. Why not? The only nice thing about 1 inches, we're fully like listed with them, so I'm just gonna estimate that probably that's about. Oh, my gas settings are probably too high. Yeah, I don't know why they want to use 20 gas on BSC. But...
Yeah, I saw that, and it said something like $2 or $3 transaction fee. I was like, hold on.
Yeah. What? Well, and also because 1 inch is routing through more than one pool, the gas costs are slightly higher. I mean, as you can see, like, you know, direct through PancakeSwap is 57 cents and there's $1.50, but it's still beneficial just because you get more assets.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I don't actually have as much BTCB as I thought. Let's do like 3.9. Here we go.
Man's got a coffee.
So I guess that trade was small enough that it just made more sense just to route strictly through PancakeSwap. So that small of a trade didn't really benefit from using 1 inch. Although now it's saying, so now that I did that trade, the prices are a little bit out of whack. So now the exact same trade, it wants to do 38%. See that?
Yeah.
But the trade that I just put through was 100% on PancakeSwap. So I guess the ratios, yeah.
You skewed it.
Yeah, I skewed it. All right, well, that's close enough. I'll just max it out. So this is, because it's not a perfect 80-20, it's, you know, 0.01% price impact. That's fine. 82-17. Great stats this gives you.
Yeah, minimal price impact.
This weekly yield it's showing, this is just trading fees. So this is not, it's not including, you know, what we pay on the farms, whereas where the lion's share of rewards come from.
Just a little bonus for us.
Yep. Same thing with PancakeSwap, although that's another advantage of Balancer. So when you create the pools, you can set the you know, the trade fees to whatever you want to set it to.
Oh, awesome.
And when I set these up, I set it up so that, you know, we can manage those at any time. So we can lower them or raise them, or, you know, we're in full control of that.
Perfect.
So any questions about Balancer or how this works, or anything like that?
And
before we move on, if we want to talk about this a bit, we can.
See if there's any questions on it.
So, well, I guess I can get into like what. So, I guess because of how fast, like this has been what, like 24 hours or a little bit more than 24 hours. You know, we're already at, you know, $500,000 here. We're probably going to take over first place sometime today. We've been offered quite a few nice things from this protocol. They're kind of seeking partnership with us as pretty aggressively. So they have another nice thing about Balancer is there's different types of pools. When you make them yourself, you can only really make a weighted pool, I think. But if they do it for us, they can make what's called like a stable coin pool, which is like a pool that's intended for assets that don't really vary in price very much. So something like this, for example. So this is a 33% USDT, 33% BUSM, 33% BUSD. We don't have much money in here because we're not really using this right now, but there's a lot of advantages to having a pool that's specifically meant for stable coins. When the pool consists of just stable coins, very low slippage, low fees, less liquidity required to facilitate larger trades, I believe. It's, if you look at like, if you go to swap like USDT to BUSD or something, I think these are often use those exact pools that those guys have. Okay, this is using hash flow. I notice I'm bogged almost always when I'm swapping one stable coin to another stable coin. I'm bogged. It's almost always using the pools from these guys, just because of their stable coin pools. So that's something that we'll get going soon. We've got some good liquidity going on our BUSM BUSD pool, 161,000 now. That's going to be growing very quickly. I mean, this is
amazing.
Unbelievable APR for a stable coin pair.
Yeah. Plus, at the moment, with B-shares price being as low as it is, and the fact we're trying to get it on some yield aggregators as well, sort of Yield Wolf and also Farm. We're in talks with them. Beefy will come after Peg. I've already talked to them, and they said that's the requirement. So when we're over Peg, I'll message them again. I'm sure we'll be straight on there.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as we get on Beefy with this and some of the other partners, the liquidity on this is going to blow right up. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And that'll just funnel into making our latest edition all that much more advantageous.
Yeah,
connect your wallet. Okay. So for anyone that's not aware, we are still actively pursuing the Abracadabra Money partnership. Because that process may take some time, we didn't want to wait, so we launched our own. I'm going to be updating this so it doesn't look so abracadabra-ish and looks more like our websites. But as you can see, like we just recently launched this. We've already got $250,000 locked in here. So yeah, basically, I guess I should say how this works. What happens here is you deposit XBOM here, and when you deposit XBOM, so I've got 32,000 XBOMs deposited right now, worth $78,000. I've borrowed 8,000 BUSM. Essentially, it just lets you deposit. So when you hold BOM, you can stake that for XBOM, and your XBOM is going to be growing in value constantly, especially once we start printing. We're anticipating the APRs on XBOM to be in the 300 to 500% annual range. So whenever you need to buy something, instead of selling BOM to buy it, it makes more sense to just turn your BOM into XBOM, deposit your XBOM here, and borrow our stablecoin. Right now, liquidity is only 160,000. So that's something that's going to be a lot more useful once that liquidity grows, which I'm sure will happen very quickly. It's been growing every day. So
I got a question in chat there.
So what happens to Abra Fork after you get partnership with Abra? Great question. So depending on how soon the Abra Fork happens, that might change my answer. But I think most likely we run them both side by side. If we get the Abra partnership like super, super quick, then potentially we can just start phasing this out. But I don't see it happening like this week. So, if as soon as our liquidity is high enough on BUSM for this to become really valuable and a useful tool for all of our, all of our community participants, we'll keep this running and we'll keep growing this. And, we can start getting other protocols, assets here as well. And, I'll probably appoint someone to run this division of BOM and, have this keep growing. This has already generated almost $1,000 for the protocol and fees. And we've barely just got started and there's barely any liquidity there. So where to best buy BUSM? I'd say 1 inch is the best choice. You don't have to be a BOG member, like BOG, anybody can use BOG. Okay, so the link on here to get BUSM or to sell BUSM, it goes to 1 inch. So for anybody in the US, you can't use that, unfortunately. But actually, right on our home site, our homepage, you can we added a link to buy BUSM. So that'll go to bogged, and that'll bring up the contract. So let's actually pull up the chart on BUSM.
It's doing quite well at the moment. 0.86.
Yep. So, I mean, so 1.0 is PEG. So this is just for anyone that's not aware, like the way that PEG is maintained with BUSM essentially is that our protocol, our implementation, well, it works the exact same way as Abracadabra Money, in that this always looks at BUSM as being $1. So essentially, if PEG is over 1.0, which it's not right now, but if PEG's ever over 1.0, it just makes sense to borrow BUSM and sell it on the open market. You just profit instantly off that trade. Whenever BUSM is under $1, it doesn't make sense to sell it, because then you're borrowing at the price of $1 and then you're selling it for less than $1. So you're kind of instantly in the red. So that doesn't make sense. But when it's under $1, that's a great time to buy it to farm it, or to buy it to pay back any loans that you've already taken out. I mean, because if you borrow BUSM and you buy whatever you want to buy with it while it's at 1.0 PEG, like right now, you can pay back your loan with a 14% discount, right? So it's pretty much like I've been buying BUSM like crazy whenever it's under $1. So it just makes sense to. So it's kind of something that it kind of just PEG will maintain itself. It's just that liquidity is only 160,000 right now, so it doesn't take a whole lot for PEG to drop at the moment. But that'll change once we have the stablecoin pool set up and once we get more liquidity in there, which is just a matter of time with how well that's paying.
Like you said, for a couple of days now, if you can buy $1 for less than $1, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because our site will always look at BUSM as being worth $1. So, yeah. I mean, so the only two ways to get it is to borrow it at $1, or right now you can buy it on sale. So anyone that wants to farm and get 0.6% a day on a stable coin, I've been just buying BUSM on the open market whenever it's under $1 and pairing it with BUSD and farming it, making a lot of B shares that way.
Yeah, I'm farming mine somewhere as well, I think. Yeah, I am.
Somewhere? I think there's only one place you can farm it.
I'm not talking about my tabs. I've got even more tabs open now than last time. It's dreadful. Please help me. Yeah, there it is. It's going good. Awesome stuff.
Of course it's going good. All right. So before we move on, any questions about how this works, how trades work with this, how adding liquidity works, why you should use this, what we're doing in the future with this, or anything about this?
Did you want to explain quickly the reasoning behind the BUSM USDT BUSD pool, sort of so they can cross trade?
Yeah. So I mean, this is, well, I'll pull up an example. If we look at some of the bigger pools here, so like oftentimes like these stablecoin pools, they just have multiple stable coins. So let's take a look at this one. So this is just like so they've either got some weird ratios here or they're way off PEG.
I was about to say that doesn't quite look right. So
typically this would be 25% for each of these, but that just is not making sense right now. Doesn't it usually say what the percent are?
If you go on invest, does it say what percentage it is, or no? Okay, that's weird.
That is weird. So that was a horrible example. Sorry, guys.
We'll ignore that one.
How come it's not showing percents? On ours, it shows 80-20.
Yeah. That's very weird.
Well, anyways, so I guess the purpose of this is just in order to just make BUSM swappable with more than just BUSD. You know, we can we'll probably do multiple pools here once BUSM starts growing. You know, this is just the first one. We'll probably do one that has, you know, these 3 assets in combination with also USDC, maybe DAI, maybe MIM. Yeah, see, like ours are showing the proper weights. Maybe I had to just wait for it to load. Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe it's because you're invested in it. Possibly. I don't know. Possibly.
Not sure. Yep. But yeah, these kind of pools will be optimal for BUSM. So we'll probably do a governance vote on it. But I see our future likely having a pancake swap pool like this one, and then having another one right beside it. That's our you know, our stable coin pool that we have with these guys here. But we'll do a governance vote before we do any changes like that. And we'll probably wait for B-share to jump up in value a bit, just so we don't dilute the rewards on this guy too much.
Maybe these stable pools don't have them because they allow. Oh, I already pressed that one.
Okay, you be the boss here. Okay, you press the buttons.
You ratio. I'll be button man. You be talking man. I got it.
Okay.
Maybe the stable pools don't have them because they allow skewed ratios since it's all stables.
That's an interesting thought. Although, you know what, since I first mentioned that a couple of minutes ago, I realized that so while Balancer does have stable pools, these guys also forked Curve, which is like the real special protocol for stable coins. So I think their biggest stablecoin pools are actually not listed here, because those would be Curve pools, not these pools.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
What is their what is their main site?
I thought that was it.
Well, this is their like Balancer.
Googling.
Oh yeah, it's Cryptos. That's right.
Yes, it is. Very good. So
if we check out their stable swap, so this is like their Curve. Yeah, so ACIA. So they got a bunch more liquidity here. They've got like $3.6 million. It looks like.
Right.
And like look at all the volume on that 10 million volume in the last 24 hours on 3.6 million in there.
Wow.
So this is very popular, and this is what they offered to us to be part of their. Well, actually, I'd have to reread the message. They offered us like a stable coin type pool. So I'm not sure if that's like the Balancer stable coin pool, or if they're offering us part of their Curve fork. But either way, it'd be great for us. So we'll definitely pursue that further.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we'll look into that one.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'd love to get some vaults going on their site as well. You know, they've got very similar goals to us. Like they, you know, I did some research on these guys before I got involved, and you know, they're all about, you know, longevity and stability and safety. You know, it's all the same core principles that we have, so we're very aligned that way. You know, we care about our investors and our users, and you know, that's their core focus as well. So it's some great alignment there.
Yeah, so plus, like you said, we're in we're in a chat with them, and they seem to really like us. They reply pretty quick, and they're keen to get the ball rolling, pretty much.
Yeah. So
this could be awesome, I think.
So let's go, guys. Let's get the number one pool going. We need another 100,000.
It won't be long. I give it a day.
Yeah, I'd say by the end of the day, probably.
Yeah.
I think they also mentioned having our assets involved in some other pools, which would be pretty cool. Just because like the whole way that Balancer V2 is kind of set up, like this is their smart order router, which is kind of similar to, I guess, what 1inch does, but this can only use their own pools, but it will route through numerous pools to give you the best rate. And it's pretty cool in that it makes it so that when you finish the trade, that the asset that you're swapping to has an identical price across every pool that your trade touched, basically making zero arbitrage opportunities for any bots. Right. So it's,
Ooh.
I mean, that's just a side advantage that there's no arbitrage opportunity for the bots. The more important thing is that it does such a perfect job getting you the best rate and putting the exact right amount through each of the pools that just the side effect of that is that the ending asset price is like to the penny identical across every pool. So it's, I mean, so this is really meant to work well. Whether, you know, just because there's so much flexibility in the pools. I even made one earlier that was like the bomb cocktail pool. Let's see if I can pull that up.
I'm going to call Monday's bomb cocktail instead, or cocktail.
Well, I guess maybe I took all the funds out of it, so it's not showing up now. But yeah, it was just bomb, B share, and BUSM. I mean, that's just like a nice fun pool that just has all of our own assets. I did it at like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, but I mean, there's just unlimited flexibility with this. We could have as many pools as we want, just for whatever purposes that we want, and it'll just route trades through all of them just to give our users the best rates. So pretty amazing stuff.
Love it. Any questions about any more of the Axie bits and bobs? I think we've covered pretty much everything. There could be a few more, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, like you said, liquidity in this is growing quickly.
It's growing fast. Well. Yeah.
And the higher it is, the more interest we're going to get from them to pursue further things. So,
yep,
that's really amazing.
So Midas Capital,
pretty cool.
I think they've been taking a little bit longer to get going. Oh, any snaps updates? That's actually, you know what? I haven't checked that channel today. What's going on with that?
I don't think so. Not sure.
Get back to. So that was 3 days ago. I was going to get a response tomorrow with more details.
Ping him again. Persistency is key.
There we go. Yeah, I just restarted my computer. That's why.
That's always his excuse. I'm just built different. I never close Discord, let alone never open it. It's always open.
So yeah, so cross chain right around the corner. New UI. I'm going to be taking a look at it today. I've been promised that I'll have a glance at a almost production ready copy of the new UI today. So really looking forward to taking a look at that later on, and hopefully it's as close to production ready as what I've been told, and you know, we can roll that out in the next few days, hopefully. Out of my control though, so if it's not as far along as they've been telling me, then maybe a little bit longer, but Hanford's on top of getting them active.
By being persistent. Yep, I'm trying.
Yeah, so currently the BUSM, BUSDLP that we're incentivizing is a 50-50. The other ones that we were talking about could be different ratios. Yeah, so I mean, this one's not incentivized, so I wouldn't recommend putting any funds in here. But like this, for example, is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
So just to add to that, it's 50-50. One reason is the fact it's on PancakeSwap. So
yeah, PancakeSwap, we have no choice.
Yeah.
So I just pulled up another question. So Midas Capital is based on Fuse. It's a lending and borrowing protocol. So I believe they're setting this up so that our users can lend BOM or can like deposit BOM, XBOM, or BOM BTC BLPs. And with any of those three things deposited, you'll then be able to borrow any of the assets that they allow borrowing. So it's going to be just another option for somewhere to put your bomb, essentially, or your LPs, or whatever you want to put.
Yeah. Also another whole market, because they'll be doing their own advertising. The whole other market that we'll be getting into.
And we're one of their launch partners, so they're going to be pushing this hard because they're just launching, and we're going to be one of the big one of their big partners for launch. So another it's been delayed. It's I think they said 3 weeks ago that they were going to try and have it ready that week, but I think they just they've been trying to get all the smart contracts ready in terms of liquidations in case they have to happen, and things of that nature. So I think they're very close to being ready. They actually reached out to us this morning, letting us know that they want to chat and that they're getting close. So
I've got
basically it's I can't stress enough that we've really set everything up so that we're pushing towards PEG right now, and it's something that's it's going to happen soon, I feel. And we've got great mechanisms in place for use cases for bomb, and really giving you better things to do with your bomb than sell it when you earn it from the boardroom. So it's not going to make a whole lot of financial sense to be selling bomb in the future or even right now. So I think we have all the mechanisms in place and more to be able to maintain PEG and even potentially hit a high PEG. So it's things are looking really great.
Looking really good there. Amazing stuff. So I think we've covered the little list there, because we've done the new UIs. Like you said, hopefully we'll be seeing it today. Seeing an almost production ready version. I think our last update was sort of 3-4 days ago. So hopefully that's getting somewhere.
Any questions, guys? Do we have community questions for this week, or?
There wasn't any community questions for this week. No, we covered them all last week.
We're communicating too much in chat. I guess we're just answering everything on the spot.
Yeah, maybe we should just stop doing that. Right? Should we go for 2025 release then? You cheeky boy. No, that's 2025. That's when we're all going to be on Bomb Island together.
Yep.
Chilling out. So much things to go. So I've got a feeling that all the dominoes are going to fall at once. Everything's going to come together at the same time. It's going to be.
It's just a matter of hitting PEG, and as soon as we hit PEG, it's going to be an unstoppable machine. So. Throat scratchy.
Yeah, the bots are helping too. Yeah, a little bit. Aaron needs to make an energy drink that the UI devs can take. No comment.
All right, guys. Well, maybe we can end early today. I know our streams have been pretty long in the past, so maybe we should try and keep them shorter to the point. But I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Yeah, for sure. Man. Oh, question that. One sec. There we go.
We got a question. So with BUSM under PEG, we should mostly farm it. We can buy more bomb as well, but definitely not sell it. Yes. So the play with BUSM under PEG is ideally you buy it on the open market because you are getting $1 for less than $1 essentially. So farming BUSM is never a bad idea. It pays crazy for stablecoin pair. But if you don't want to buy it on the open market, you could always just borrow some and then pair it up. Just keep in mind that, it's just financially, it makes more sense to buy it on the open market instead of borrow it. It's like, would I borrow $1 from the bank if I can go buy it for 85 cents in the street? Like, probably not, right? But with how high it's paying, I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I wouldn't be selling BUSM at that PEG. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
so, I mean, anybody that's borrowed BUSM, now is a great time to buy it on the open market to pay back what you've borrowed, and or just buy it on the open market to farm it. Drink a Monster back-to-back B2B, business to business, with Cuban coffee.
Be awake. Aaron couldn't do that. He'd be awake for days then, even more.
That's not a problem.
Be a three-day working day soon.
An improvement.
Another one here. Can you talk about the partnership with Passenger DeFi? Seems interesting.
Super interesting. So let's pull open Discord.
We can demonstrate as well. What's happening there?
Bomb money. So in Discord, you type /bomb money. And I get this. I don't think that I've. Okay, I did. So this thing pops up. So what this lets you do. So this basically all I did is I just did /bomb money, and that came up. And now I can buy bomb here. I can also stake bomb. I could also unstake bomb. So I can, convert bomb into X bomb, convert X bomb back into bomb. Probably one of the coolest things though is that you can zap right into the bomb BTC BLP. And this is going straight to our auto vault. So there is no extra steps, right? So, you have some bomb, you can just zap in and right away you are in our auto vault and farming and making money. Same with obviously BTCB, or if you're already holding the LP, you can do it that way as well. So super cool, super easy. Uses all of our existing contracts except for the swap. The swap doesn't use our existing contracts. So this would have token approvals, but for the staking and unstaking and the zapping, there is no approvals required if you've already done those approvals on our native sites. And this works not only from Discord. This is, I think it's go.passenger. I have to double check the URL before I give you the wrong one. But yeah, there's a way that you can basically access that from anywhere. It should be all over Twitter. I have to double check exactly what the URL is though. What is the purpose of parent company OneCoin for bomb money? Why not just one company bomb? Does OneCoin have other assets beneficial to bomb? I mean, OneCoin was incorporated prior to bomb ever being an idea. It's just, it's the first crypto company I've incorporated. We've since incorporated bomb money. I mean, it's not even really a parent company to bomb money. Like bomb money is its own corporation. It's not owned by OneCoin. It's just a separate corporation. It just gives me some flexibility, I guess. But they're not, I mean, besides besides me being basically the sole owner of both, they're not really too related. Does OneCoin have other assets beneficial to bomb? Not really, to be honest.
It's got Aaron, so we can
yeah, it's got him. Me.
That's all it needs, right? Amazing stuff.
All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, maybe we'll give it another minute for some questions to come in. But if not, we can call it.
Just had a look at BTC price. 43.6. Yeah.
Where should I go to find the contract for BUSM? One way you could do that as well. There's a couple ways you could do it. I mean, you could just search Dex Screener, for example, for BUSM. And then, you can find the contract on the right side. There's the pair contract. There's the contract itself. Another way you could just pop on over to our homepage, go to buy BUSM. It's going to be right there in the URL. That's the contract address right there. Okay. Any chance of an office tour video? The office right now is my home, which is a 500 square foot apartment or condo. So not much to show you. It'd be a pretty short tour.
Around pretty damn quick.
Welcome, David. Love to see it.
Welcome, dude. How you doing?
any questions for us? And we're really happy to have you. You came at the right time.
Yeah, you must have bought in at a great time. Trevor's there. Of course he is. He's always lurking in the chats.
All right, guys. Well, doesn't seem like there's any other questions.
147 bomb at a time. You got a
You're
discount.
up,
You got a bargain.
he's up huge already.
147. Let's have a look at the chart. Yeah, that was near the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we dipped down a little bit. But yeah, great buying price. Always watching. Oh no, wrong one. That one.
Things looking great, boys. Let's keep it going.
Keep buying bomb. Keep adding liquidity as well, right?
How are you going about connecting? It should work. I know that, you know what, we've been having some issues with Wallet Connect. If you're trying that option, that might be temporarily broken.
Mm-hmm.
But if you use the MetaMask option from MetaMask on mobile, iPhone or Android, just make sure that you're on the BSC network. We must have pushed an update to the site that, I don't want to say broke, but it made our Connect options not quite as robust as they used to be. I should really fix that, even though we have our new UI right around the corner. But before it used to tell you to switch networks to BSC. I noticed it's not doing that anymore. So just make sure you're on BSC network already on MetaMask, and then hit the MetaMask button. Refresh the page if you have to. Sometimes you have to refresh for it to kind of click, but
Works for me, says.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It's just not as user-friendly as it needs to be, because if anything's not like set right, it's just not going to connect. So Coinbase. Yeah, so if you can use the MetaMask app on your iPhone, again, just make sure that you're on the BSC network already. So if you need to add that, you can go to chainlist.org. Yeah, you could always ask in Discord too. But, so if you can just go to chainlist.org on MetaMask and just go BSC, or actually, and then you can just go connect wallet, and it's going to let you add the chain. I've already got it added. So if you're 100% sure you're on BSC, you should be able to just hit connect and go to the MetaMask option. And if that doesn't work, then just give the page a refresh in your MetaMask browser.
That's a couple of B bonds you got there.
B bonds, yeah, I love the B bonds. Big B bond fan.
Oh, that's a point as well about the whole B bond giveaway competition. It's still going until we get over peg and do 4 prints. There's more information on our socials, or you can ask in Discord or Telegram about that one there. But basically, be one of the largest 3 holders of B bond after buying some fresh new bomb. Once the giveaway concludes, and you could win. I think first place is 60 B share, then it's 30, and then it's 10. Yep. Which in the future they could be worth. Well, we estimate $500 B share, right? It's $50,000 giveaway, which is huge.
Yeah, and I think that's probably conservative B share pricing.
That's very conservative. Yeah. I mean, last time we got near peg, we didn't actually get to a print, did we? But B shares flew up to over $200. Yep. So can easily see it getting $1,000 each.
BSC seems to be super slow right now. Can't even get the stats to pull up. There we go. Yeah, BTC taking a bit of a dump, but we're looking good.
We are.
All right. Well, if you continue, we got another question. Does it take 24 hours to see rewards on the Bomb BTC app? Yeah. So the rewards calculate once per day, at like midnight UTC. So I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but that's like 8 p.m. Eastern time for me. So once a day, you'll see those rewards kicking in.
Amazing stuff.
And actually, for anybody that's looking at doing investing on BOM BTC, just because of where PEG is at right now, you're getting a huge discount on our YB BTC investment units. So, I mean, anybody that's not only do we have a huge APR on BTC, but you also stand to gain, 33, 40% very quickly in addition to that APR as this climbs back up. So it is an incredible time to invest in the mainnet BTC.
Yeah, there was an investor yesterday who's going to be very happy, I think.
Yeah, we had someone do an investment yesterday that's, I think, is already up 20% in one day. So
yeah,
it's going to go up another 40 or 50% in the next couple of days, likely.
Oh yes, I'm so glad you found this.
Well, tell all your friends.
We're so glad you found us. There you go. Amazing. Anything else to add, Aaron?
Nope. Oops. Well, thanks everyone for joining. See you guys all Friday on our Twitter space.
See you then.
And a lot of exciting things coming up. So make sure you're in our socials and Discords and Telegram. And got exciting times ahead.
For sure. Let everybody know, David. Let them all know.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Brilliant. Cheers, people.